Do you ever wonder if the science communicators on social media actually know what they're talking about? Well, today I'm going to try to find out. And today is also the first day of Dinovember, which is the series where I'm going to try to make a new video every single day of the month, each dedicated to a different dinosaur. And today I am in the Society of Vertebrate Paleontology's giant annual conference up in Minnesota, and there are other social media sci-commers here. So I'm going to try to ambush a bunch of them, ask them a question that they don't know I'm going to ask them, and they're going to have to respond on the spot, and then whatever they say, I will do some research on it later and fact check it. Found Astrid.
Hello.
Basically the ruler of Dino Talk. The question for you is...
Yes.
Oh, and one more thing, just to make this even more entertaining for us and slightly less stressful for these poor people that have no idea what I'm about to ask them on the spot, I gave them full permission to straight up lie. In other words, they can either tell us a real true fact, or they can decide to just completely make something up. And whatever it is that they say, it's my job to figure out if it's real. So, okay, let's hear the question. Just tell me something cool about Triceratops. Go.
Oh my gosh. There is a specimen of Triceratops that has bite marks in it. I think it's a hip that has bite marks that line up to the size and placement of Tyrannosaurus teeth, which confirms the very, very popular paleo media, paleo art meme of Triceratops and Tyrannosaurus in combat, fighting with each other.
Very good. If that's true, I haven't heard of it, so I'm excited to go look for it. It's awesome. So yeah, this one didn't take long to find out. That is 100% true. In fact, it seems like we actually have a bunch of reports of Tyrannosaur-sized bite marks in Triceratops fossils. I wonder if this is the specific study that Astrid was thinking of, because it does report that there were bite marks in Triceratops hip and hip-adjacent fossils, the ilium and sacrum. Now, that study in particular does not make any extrapolations about T-Rex actively hunting Triceratops, but other studies do that, like this one that found partially healed bite marks, which means the animal was attacked when it was alive. So, all right, next one. I'm here with Tyler Stone.
Hello.
I just need you to tell me something cool about Triceratops. Go.
Triceratops actually didn't exist. It was only, we gotta start over, I can't forget that. So there are two species of Triceratops, Triceratops hortus and Triceratops versus. They are separated in time, versus is younger. There are some fossils with intermediate anatomy in between them that might be essentially a record of one species evolving into the other.
At least some of that is true. I will have fun fact-checking that. Sweet, thank you. Well done, Tyler. This one is fun. Yes, it is true that there are only two species of Triceratops, T. horridus and T. prorsus. And yes, it is true that they did not live at the same time. T. prorsus was later. And apparently also, yes, there have been specimens of Triceratops found that are both time-wise and in terms of what they look like, their morphology, somewhere in between the two species that we know of. And that is all well and good, but here's where it gets tricky. Sure, it is possible that T. horridus represents the lineage that went on to evolve into T. prorsus. But that kind of direct evolutionary causal chain is a hard thing to be confident about based on this kind of correlative fossil evidence. And Tyler and I talked about this afterward. He was purposefully being cheeky and a little confusing, but it is really interesting to look into this now after the fact and see that that is, in fact, what some researchers think was going on. So, cool. Let's do some more. I'm here with the paleontology science communicator on Twitch. Danny, all I need you to do is tell me something cool about Triceratops.
Oh, okay. Between you and me, it's insider info.
Okay, go for it.
Triceratops is actually a juvenile Torvosaurus.
You heard it here first, folks. Yeah, well, look, I don't have to do any formal research on this one to know that my position in this moment is to be the one that gets to explain this very niche joke to you, thereby completely robbing it of any comedic value, so let's do that. In 2010, a couple of paleontologists published this paper arguing that a close relative of Triceratops called Torosaurus was, in fact, just Triceratops, fully grown. That idea has not caught on, which would be the reason why Danny was wrong if he had said Torosaurus, which he did not. He snuck an extra letter in there and said Torvosaurus, which is also a dinosaur, just one that looks nothing like Triceratops. It looks like this. And that is the joke. Okay, one more. I found the dynamic duo, Max and Matt. For you guys, I have a very simple question. Okay. Give me a fun fact about Triceratops. Go.
Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, so actually, statistical studies have demonstrated that Triceratops did in fact get into those head-to-head competitions. So there actually are puncture marks from Triceratops on their frills, and on the side bones of their faces. Do you have anything to add about Triceratops?
Yeah.
Okay, pause. Spoiler alert, Matt is about to go really off the rails here, so let's talk about what Max said first. The absolutely great news is that as far as I can tell, this is correct. I'm not sure what he means by statistical studies, so I'll be asking him about that tomorrow, but we do in fact have a bunch of evidence that Triceratops were indeed locking horns to fight with each other, including we have healed puncture wounds on their faces, just like Max said. So that's awesome. Now let's really go out with a bang.
I think I read something about like they were one of the last dinosaurs to exist like up maybe even through the KT impact a little bit. There was some evidence that there might have been one layer of rock that existed, after the dinosaur extinction event that there were Triceratops bones in.
You've given me a lot to look into. Thank you very much. Awesome. Non-avian dinosaurs surviving the end Cretaceous mass extinction. Really? What is amazing about this is that Matt fully committed to the bit. She's not just talking about some straggler dinosaurs, surviving the initial asteroid impact. No. Surviving until after the extinction event, she said. Triceratops being found in a layer of rock dated to after the KT boundary. In other words, Cenozoic age rocks with Triceratops in them, and that is false. So frankly, thank you, Matt, for taking me up on the opportunity to just get to lie straight through your teeth, and also for subverting my expectations that it was definitely going to be Max that was going to be the one that would make something up. One of the things I found really amazing about this weird little exercise is that all of these people, even when they decided to stretch the truth or lie a little bit, did so in such a way as to prove that they absolutely know what they're talking about, because it is not easy to spin a perfect half-truth or a believable lie on the spot. That being said, there is an abundance of horrible sources of information on the internet that gain a following just because they are confident. So if you trust me and what I do at all, trust me when I say these guys do in fact know their shit. Oh, and don't tell any of them I said this, but they're all so cool that honestly, getting to know them has given me way more imposter syndrome than any of the world famous paleontologists that are here. So anyway, go follow all of them and I'll see you tomorrow.